I am not here right now trying to tell you what movies you're supposed to like. Well, I kinda am. Welcome back to another edition of Monday Morning MotoGP, but there was no MotoGP this last weekend, so we're going to talk about Formula One. The movie, not the racing, even though I understand the racing was pretty good this last weekend. Anyway, before we dig into everything about that, if you could please like, follow, share, mash all the buttons so that you get all the MotoGP content, normally, that you can possibly imagine. And thank you everyone who has been commenting and conversing with us. We love it. Thank you so much. And everyone who has opposite opinions of me and thinks that I'm an idiot, I love that too. Love to hear from you, so keep it coming. So I wanted to take a little time, even though the Formula One movie takes place on four wheels and not two wheels, I wanted to talk a little bit about the film and about the reaction that motorsports fans had toward the film. Now, before we get in, let's talk a little bit about two wheels. Let's talk about the great two-wheel movies. There's only one, Beyond the Law. Sorry, guys. That's the motorcycle movie. If you haven't seen Charlie Sheen in Beyond the Law, I don't even want to talk to you. Don't come to me about torque and biker boys and all that nonsense. Beyond the Law. I know it's a biker movie about a biker gang, not really about racing or motorcycles, but that's the biker movie, okay? That's what we have so far. Now, my main gripes with motorsports fans, you all out there, is that, myself included, but mostly y'all, beg for more MotoGP content, for more motorsports content. Why isn't our sport given the recognition? We have Days of Thunder and Days of Thunder 2 coming, like NASCAR gets some recognition. Why don't we get more for motorsports that we love so much? Why don't they make motorsport movies? Why don't they just shine a light on our sport? And then they do. People try to make movies about our sport, about motorcycle racing or Formula One racing, and the first people to take a big fat crap on the content are motorsports fans. And I know we have this ownership over the sport we love so much that these movies have to be perfect or else they're just tainting the sport overall. But some of you guys need to relax a little bit. Now, a bit ago, there was a movie that was called One Fast Move. It was an independent film. The lead of the CW show Riverdale was the lead of this movie. Eric Dane is in it. And they did a little movie about a motorcycle racer trying to make his way, and he had daddy issues, and he had all sorts of, it's a very independent film, and they did their best trying to make a decent movie. And when that came out, there was a whole bunch of people who just couldn't rush to the comment section fast enough, rush to every podcast fast enough to talk crap about the movie, how cheesy it was, how stupid it was. But this is a bunch of people who got together and they wrote a script about motorcycle racing. They wrote a script about the sport you love. And instead of, going, it was an okay attempt. Did I love the movie as my favorite movie, me personally? No. Did I think there was some good parts in it? Yeah, it wasn't bad. The acting was decent in areas. They tried to really represent what motorcycle riders go through on the track. They really did try. And so I really beg y'all to just keep the keyboard warrioring. Just pull back just a second. You don't have to like the movies I like. You don't have to respect people's craft. But when you're begging for a motorsports movie and then someone gives you one, at least take a second to go, well, you know what? They did try. They are trying to make a movie about the sport I love. And newsflash, if you guys aren't watching the motorsports movies when they come out, if you guys are immediately online talking trash, talking about how crappy they are, they don't continue making them. And maybe that's what you want. Maybe secretly you just don't want movies about your sport. But the thing I say to you is, well, then just don't watch them. It's okay. But this episode is all about Formula One, the movie. F1, the movie. And what I thought of it maybe is irrelevant, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. I thought as a studio movie, big budget, big picture, big star, F1 is the best you are ever going to get. All of you out there begging for motorsports movie, subject matter about motorsports, this is as good as it gets. The script was solid. The acting was fantastic. The filmmaking was unfreaking believable. Like, so good. And this is coming from watching fighter jets and Top Gun Maverick and putting, cameras on planes. They went right and put cameras all over a Formula One car, and the filmmaking is utterly fantastic in this film. So I would say, yes, I'm sorry. They could have done a different version of this movie. But as a studio blockbuster, $300 million movie with big stars, mass appeal, this is as good as it gets. It doesn't get better. Yes, they could have done it different. Wouldn't have been better. Would have been the same film. Now, you don't have to like it. I'm not here to convince you that you have to like the movie. And honestly, right now, I'm going to beat you all up a little bit. So if you can't handle a little tough love, a little ribbon, a little tongue-in-cheek humor, this episode is not for you. But I'm going to ask you to take a little deep look at yourself and go, maybe the problem is me. Because the number one criticism I heard from this movie is, oh, it's not very realistic. Oh, it's so over the top. It's not very realistic. I'm going to say this real slow, so if all of you in the back can understand. If you want realistic, watch a documentary. There's so many great documentaries about motorsports. You want MotoGP documentaries, you want the Mark Neal documentaries, the Hitting the Apexes, the Fastest, the Kentucky Kid Tornado Doctor, that one. You want all those. You want Isle of Man. You want The Road with Michael Dunlop. Do you want Drive to Survive? Do you want Brawn? So many great documentaries about motorsports. This was a movie. It's supposed to entertain. They're gonna go big. And my biggest criticism about the "it wasn't realistic, it's so unrealistic" crowd is that almost everything in the film was taken from Formula One and just made a little bigger. 'Cause it's a movie. It's a movie, folks. And we hear it all the time from the commentator box when things that are crazy happen. They go, oh, Hollywood couldn't even write this script. Yeah, because y'all wouldn't believe it. Y'all would just throw your hands up and go, oh my God, this is so ridiculous. I mean, like, there's no way that a driver, we're talking about Formula One, I'm still in MotoGP land. There's no way a driver would line up on the grid having never won a Formula One race ever, and then out of nowhere on a team that never win a race, Nico Hulkenberg. That would never happen. That would be so stupid if dumb Hollywood writers put that in a script. I mean, there's no way that a driver, after crashing in a ball of fire, would pull himself out of the fiery rec room on Grosjean. That would never happen. These stupid Hollywood writers. I mean, there's no way another F1 driver would be out there causing chaos at the back of the grid so that his teammate could go forward and score points, Kevin Magnussen. That would never, ever happen. There's no way a rookie would ever be on the podium in Formula One this last weekend. No, that doesn't happen ever. Now, yes, it's over the top. It's a movie. That's what we do in the movies. It's over the top. It's big. It's supposed to be fantastic. It's not supposed to be realistic. And I think some of you out there in motorsport land go into watching motorsports movies as if they have to be a documentary. Now, I'm going to pause. I'm going to say again, because I know, I can hear the comments already. Well, I didn't like the movie because this, that. You're allowed not to like the movie. You don't have to like movies I like. This was my favorite movie ever? No. But did I think they did a great job with the subject matter? Did I think they made a really serviceable, big budget studio flick about a subject matter that sports fans and motorsports fans were begging for? Yeah. You do better. You write a better script. You can't do it. You won't do it. They did it. They did a fairly good job. And I think they deserve the credit for how good the movie was. And so sports fans, motorsports fans, go ahead. Shit all over it. Say how terrible it is and unrealistic. I think you're being unrealistic with your expectations of what a movie is. It's a movie. It's supposed to entertain. It's not just supposed to tell a story of a race. Do you know how boring that movie would be? The movie that some of you want out there, do you have any idea how freaking boring that movie would be? I couldn't write that script if I tried. That's what documentaries are for. Documentaries are for digging out the story of what actually happened. And guess what? They do a little embellishing themselves. Do you think that Drive to Survive is an accurate representation, 100% of everything that happens in a Formula One season? I hate to break it to you, producers, be producing. So I think a lot of us just need to check ourselves when it comes to our passions, when it comes to things we are really, really passionate about, like MotoGP, like Formula One, like motorsport, and we're begging for more content out there. We're begging for podcasts. We're begging for just anyone to talk about the thing we love so much. You can't then turn around and punch the people who are trying to give you what you want in the face. Again, you don't have to love it. You don't have to think it was a good movie. But I do think you have to give it just an ounce of respect. They really did try the thing with F1 the movie. They really did try the thing with One Fast Move. Is it going to be perfect? No, it never is. I don't think F1 the movie is perfect. But I do think, knowing what I know about how studio movies are made and the big budget mass appeal movies like this, name one that is perfect. Name one of these big budget studio summer blockbuster movies that's like legit perfect. I'll argue with you. I'll tell you how it's not perfect. It's what I do, other than talk to you about motorbikes. So I think that, listen, take all this with a grain of salt. I'm just filling a MotoGP episode on a week that MotoGP is off. But I was super impressed with the movie. Again, I think the filmmaking was good. Is there some cringe moments character-wise? Sure. Is Brad Pitt too old to be a Formula One driver? Maybe. Is his character really that much older than Fernando Alonso, the grumpy uncle of the Formula One paddock? Not really. Not that much. That dude's still driving around, and when he's 50, if they're going to let him, he'll still be there driving a Formula One car. So you can come in the comments, tell me how wrong I am, tell me that I have no business telling you what you can and can't like, even though I've given you 100 caveats saying you don't have to agree with me. But I think just take a step back, look at it and go, you know what, do I hold my passions a little too tight? Because at the same time, you can't own your passions. You can't own MotoGP and keep it in the iron grip and no one else can see it, and at the same time asking other people to appreciate it and asking other people to make movies about it and spend hundreds of millions of dollars to make movies about it, and then go, no, 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 it's my thing. You don't understand it. You can't do that. You have to do it correctly the way I would have done it. I'm telling you right now, y'all, your way would have made a real shitty movie. Anyway, that's this week's edition of MotoGP, Monday Morning MotoGP. What the hell am I calling this show now? Please stay tuned next week where we get back to MotoGP and real MotoGP news. Thank you so much for listening to me rant, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this one.